So we built this print-on-demand application called Teleport, which lets anybody plug their e-commerce store into our giant print farms. But what most people don't realize is that we had to rebuild this thing about 3 times before we finally got where we are with portals, where you don't even need a marketplace anymore. So let me just roll it back. Slant 3D started as a mass production company. We would make parts of like 10 to 100,000 pieces as an alternative to molds. We did this because a mold is really expensive. You have to spend $10,000 and then you get your first part. But that was a good business and we were growing it, but we knew that over time it would commoditize. And there was much more value in the technology of 3D printing as being a print on demand option rather than being an injection molding machine that just happens to be a bunch of 3D printers. So about 2 years ago, we started pushing very hard on software. And we built out a software stack to where we had an API and anybody could access our print farm from that API. And we expected with that obvious capability that people would plug into that API and build something like Teleport where people could upload models, match them to an Etsy store, and then get orders printed and shipped. We built the API, spent a lot of time on it, building out that entire system. And then nobody used the API. At which point it was very disappointing because we were like, well, we got all these software developers standing around. Well, what are they gonna do now? We're not $1 billion company. So we're like, well, move up the value chain. So what we started with is we built an integration for Etsy. It was called Corduroy. The Etsy integration was built very quickly and built just for Etsy. The reason being is that for each one of these e-commerce platforms, Etsy, eBay, TikTok Shop, name your poison, every one of them has an individual way of talking to them, so you have to build an application for each of them. Shopify has an app store. Etsy has approved app developers. At the time, this is 2 years ago. But we built Corduroy, we became an approved developer for Etsy, and we built Etsy Corduroy. And it was actually very successful. When we released it, people enjoyed it, and we had a lot of users who are still with us today. Etsy Corduroy, however, had a problem. We built it, and literally about 3 months later, Etsy changed their policy to where no third-party application could get shipping information from Etsy. This is very important. It sounds mundane, but it's very important. If we are printing items on behalf of our user to ship to their customer, they get an order, we print and ship the item and send it to their customer. If we don't have shipping information, kind of doesn't work. Now, the stopgap here that Etsy suggested was that we just go ahead and have our users copy and paste the address from each order into our app, which for me as a product developer is the stupidest piece of product design anybody could possibly suggest, because you never want your users to have to copy and paste information around, if for no other reason than it being super irritating. It will also be wrong. Something will get missed, a letter will get cropped off the end, people will miss the country code. It's a nightmare. So effectively what Etsy had done is taken about 6 months worth of software development work and made it irrelevant and killed it. So Etsy Corduroy was burned in the United States. Oddly enough, it still worked internationally because Etsy did not change it for international users who happened to connect with it, because Etsy's like, no, the API only in the States will not share shipping information because the United States is where we make all our money. Everybody else can go to hell and do whatever they want. Who cares? So they ruined Corduroy. Fortunately, in this moment, we had released the Shopify plugin. And the Shopify, again, independent plugin, plugged into Shopify. We got it all set up, we got it all built. About 2 months after the Shopify plugin was done, we went through their approval process, got it on the App Store, and then we turned it loose, and then Shopify changed their API. And they said all developers need to move to this new API, otherwise you will be removed from the store. And we were just like, well, this seems like a recurring theme of platforms not liking us. We basically took Shopify plugin and just scrapped it. And we went through and we looked at where everything was. And we were like, okay, there is no way that we can continually build applications for each of these platforms because maintenance will just be too much. And even though those apps were all growing quickly individually, if the platform could just kill us overnight, it completely ruins our applications and we couldn't be a reliable service to the businesses who are using us to fulfill orders for their deal. So we took everything back to brass studs and we're like, okay, so we have these 2 applications. For Shopify, we were duct taping it for a bit. Etsy, we had found kind of a workaround, but it was kind of wonky. And we just looked at it and we're like, okay, we got to do this different. And we ended up finding a solution to where we could connect to all of them. We partnered with the shipping provider that was one of the approved developers for both Shopify and for Etsy, and also happened to integrate with every other e-commerce platform also. And we integrated with them. And then we built an application around them so that our sellers could plug all of their e-commerce stores into one single app. And what's amazing is that this constraint, these problems of blowing up the applications that we built, allowed us to build one single universal application rather than us having to build an application for each one of the platforms. So it made us much more efficient, and we were able to build a better experience from it. Coincidentally, that company that we were working with 2 months later got purchased by a private equity firm, at which point they made a feature of that application cost $100. All of our users were going to have to start paying $100. We subsidized the people that were original users with us so they were protected, but we were like, damn it, our app is broken again because the platform just kicked us off. And if you happen to work inside of technology, this is a fairly well understood problem, that the ground is always moving under your feet. If it's not your partners who are screwing you, your competitors will get you. So we went ahead and we found another partner who is also loved and worked with most platforms we came to find later, but we integrated that partner into it to be an alternative to the first one. They were free, they were good, they didn't work in Canada, and they also had some really stupid upfront verification stuff that was just stupid irritating, but they were getting better. By the way, both of these companies are billion-dollar companies, by the way, just want to mention that. And both of them are still partners, and both of them have gotten better since we started because we worked with their teams and we were able to work it out so that it just works better now. It was just very stark how terrible all this stuff was. So we ended up building an API after being a production company. Nobody used the API, so we built a teleport on top of it. Well, we built Corduroy on top of the API. Etsy broke Corduroy, so we built the Shopify plugin, which broke then, and then we went ahead and built Teleport, the first version of Teleport, which was that integration single app. And then we built version 2 of Teleport, which was more robust and had more partners so people could use it. That's 5 iterations to get to Teleport. Still wasn't good enough. Our sellers were having problems. There were certain sellers that we had, like influencers who were like based in other countries like India, and they were not able to create Etsy stores that sell inside the United States, which is a fundamental advantage of having our print farm here inside the United States. When you get an order from the US, you can sell inside the US, you don't have to pay international shipping, you're able to teleport items to the United States. So we were like, a whole bunch of our users can't actually use us. So we were like, we've been screwed by platforms this entire time that we're working with. Let's just do it all ourselves. So we built Portals. Portals is an app where any user can sign up and in 30 seconds upload a model and have it for sale. You upload the model, you get a link, you can share that link around to your Instagram, to your friends and family. You can create a QR code and put it in your restaurant. We don't care. Once you do that upload, you have a live, active, supported e-commerce store that does taxes, payment processing. We take all the liability for parts and pieces. Like, we just took everything and just brought it internal so that we could make sure that our users were having a good experience and our customers were having a good experience. And we released Portals, and it worked, and people are using it, and it's doing very well. We have YouTubers who are using it for their merch stores. We have Instagrammers who are selling items from it. It has been such an evolution because when you look at it, you think, yeah, Portals, go ahead, build your own e-commerce store. It's really hard to build your own e-commerce store. And the only reason we were able to build Portals, even though the statement of it seems simpler, it is a very complex piece of engineering to get it distilled down to what is important and what isn't. And if we hadn't gone through Corduroy, Shopify plugin, Teleport 1, Teleport 2, then Portals, we wouldn't have known how to build Portals. So even though we look back on it and we're like, man, it would have been nice if we just skipped across to Teleport or whatever else it was. That's hindsight being 2020. We made the best decisions we could in that moment, and we built great products with it. And now we have an even greater product because Portals is so useful and it's such a cleaner experience than any other application has ever been for like print on demand. Because yes, a designer can upload 50 of their models in 20 minutes, have them all listed live, and then anyone in the world can purchase it and have it delivered to them without the designer having to run a print farm or having to deal with setting up a website or setting up an Etsy store or having Etsy have a weird banning day or a bot catch them or something like that. All these stupid things that these large companies are not able to deal with. We're able to take care of the people. This was made even stronger by the fact that like Etsy created rules that were really hostile to 3D printed products and sellers who have every right to sell those items. So portals became a place where people could sell their stuff and do it freely and quickly and easily, so that all of these awesome inventions that people have made can now be found by other people who are not 3D printing nerds, who don't know anything about 3D printing and just want an item to be delivered. So sure, it took us 5 bites at the apple and years of work to get this developed, but we're finally here. And Portals is such a fantastic application that enables so many independent inventors, designers, creators to create amazing products that have never been seen before and not have to build a factory in order to get them made. They just have to upload them, and then it's available, and everything else has been taken care of. So it was a long road to hoe. It was very expensive, it was very hard, and there were a lot of really painful nights, and the team worked super hard on it all. But it was not a straight line to Portals. It took a lot of effort and iteration. And I think it's so important for people to understand this, because if you're ever working on your own product, or you're creating a portal, if it breaks, or it doesn't sell on the first try, or the first print isn't just right, that's okay. Move on to the next thing, keep on improving, keep on pushing along. And you'll get to something that's eventually really incredible, because most people just don't continue. They quit after the first thing goes wrong. But if you're an independent creator, I recommend going ahead and checking out Portals. It's a pretty cool app. Literally sign in with Google, you're live, and you can have a thing selling in like 30 seconds. Have a great day, everybody.